It's been a while. So, I spent a bit of money on parts, and we're going to have a little conversation today about fuel injection, or rather, the Brat's lack of it. Before we can talk about fuel injection on the Brat, we need to talk about carburetors. I have rebuilt carburetors before in the past. Usually slide carburetors off of Honda four-wheelers, stuff like that. So I thought I could take apart the Hitachi for the Brat and rebuild it. Big mistake. I have since found out that Hitachis aren't really worth rebuilding. So that was a waste of my time. So I went on the Facebook page, from the Subaru Brat Owners Facebook page, and I basically asked for suggestions of what to do, and someone suggested a single point fuel injection swap. Now, the Subaru Brat never came with fuel injection from the factory, at least not in the States, unless you bought a turbo version, and turbo Brats are like impossible to find, so good luck with that. But the Subaru wagons with the EA82 motor, which was notorious for its timing chain issues, did come with fuel injection. It was, in fact, about the only good part of the engine of that car. And the EA82 and the EA81 blocks are so similar that the fuel injection parts from the EA82 will bolt onto the EA81 with some slight modification. So I drove up to Huxley, Iowa, which is about 8 miles south of Ames, about 4 hours from where I live, and I bought this box of parts from a guy. So basically, to do the fuel injection swap, you need the intake, the throttle body, the harness, miscellaneous sensors, and the computer. And in this box, I have enough parts to do that swap about 3 times. I'm not even joking. I've got one silver ECU that's wired up to a harness that's already been stripped down for me to save me time. I have a black box ECU, which there is a difference. I'll get into that in a later video. I actually have 2 black box ECUs. Several mass airflow sensors. This one's even adapted for a pod filter, so I'll probably use it. Coils. A vacuum tank. 3 manifolds. Literally everything I need, including the distributor that is slightly different than the EA81's distributor that we'll have to modify in a future video. So for $100 I got not only all these parts, but I mentioned to the guy that I needed doors, and he said he had a spare set. Asked him what he wanted for it. He said, follow me to my house and you can have them. So the Brat's got good doors now. I made a video on how to put the glass in these because these came out of a hatchback, so the glass was wrong. So that'll be up here soon. And yeah, so basically that's my goal here for the next... So yeah, basically by July, I'd like to have these fuel injection parts on the Brat and the Brat running, because in July there is an event that I like to attend called Carney Cruise Night, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a cruising event. And I don't necessarily want to have the thing painted or completely finished by then, but I'd like to be able to, drive it down there and maybe cruise for a little bit with my friends. So that's the goal, is to have the fuel injection in the engine and have this pile running again by July. So I just thought I'd give you guys a quick update. It has been a while since I made a video. Don't really have an excuse except life happens. I'm in college and I start another job at the end of May, so that'll take time away from the time I have to spend on videos as well. So I'll get videos out as frequently as I can, and I'll try to document the whole process so that people who don't know how to do it can learn in a video form in case it's easier for them than reading the really nicely written out guide from the Subaru page. But anyway, this is Subaru signing off.